Well, guys, I'm a bit late to the party since I don't watch GB News, but it might be time for Just Stop Oil to change their name to Just Stop Boil after this complete disaster here.
1,700 people died in 2 days.
What here?
People died
Did you say?
Yes, last summer in 40 degrees.
How many people did you say died? We just had a few sound issues there. In the UK, you're attributing how many deaths to climate change over a couple of days?
During our 40-degree heat wave last summer, 1,700 people died.
Where did you get that figure from?
Well,
where did you get that figure from?
It's widely reported,
No,
and I think
where
it's
did
even
you
from the
get it
government's
from?
own
Widely
report.
reported. What respected body did you get that figure from?
I think that's from the government's own reports, but if you want to talk about this, the UN...
Alex, sorry, you can't come on here and say, I think. You're making a very serious claim. You have to tell us where you get that information from. So let's try again. Where did you get it from?
The UN has said that 4 million people have died as a result.
No, we're talking about what you said about Britain. You said 1,400 and so died over 2 days. So where did you get that?
Right, if you want to play that game, let me Google it. I'll find it in 2 seconds.
We haven't got time for you to Google it, but just explain to me, Alex. But just explain. So those people, those British people, you're saying dropped dead because our climate emergency is such. What do they die from? What did they actually die from that was related to the heat in 2 days?
So that figure was from the World Health Organization, which I hope you can agree is a respected body.
You serious?
I don't actually.
They died.
I don't. I think the World Health Organization has absolutely baked in profit motives and control motives to want us to believe all of this. But but we all want British people to live a good, healthy life. We don't want 1,700 people dropping dead over 2 days.
Where did they get it from?
How did climate kill these people?
Okay, so there's a variety of different factors, right? In this case, it was because of the extreme heats. People died from heat stroke. When the temperature gets hot enough, for example, when it gets so hot that the sweat no longer cools you down, you literally boil in your own sweat. I know that sounds like complete exaggeration.
It does, actually.
When it gets...
I'm afraid it does sound like exaggeration. I've never heard of anybody boiling
exaggeration to say that people die in fires.
I've never heard of anybody boiling in their own sweat. What, boiling to death?
If there's a wildfire, people die from it. If there's a flood, people die from it. If there's a hurricane, people die.
How long do you have to boil for before you die?
This shouldn't be so funny. Listen, what we're finding...
People are dying and you're literally laughing.
No, well, because you're making silly claims. Boiling to death.
Listen, claims to say that the climate crisis causes wildfires.
If there are elderly people who might be vulnerable in the very, very hot weather, and I agree with you on that, then those care homes, the hospitals might be looking after those people, have a responsibility to keep those people cool and to provide air conditioning.
Do you think you boil to death as long as you boil an egg?
But,
I'm sorry,
listen,
Alex, I think I think you need to, if you don't mind me saying, Alex, I think you need to grow up a bit, actually, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, he actually said all that and was being dead serious, despite it literally being horse shit. I mean, the 1,700 dead in 2 days he pulled out of his arse, but the boiled comment really took the cake, didn't it? I guess this is why you had both hosts and shit fits of laughter at this complete clown, and I bet the entire crew backstage laughed alongside him as well. I mean, that has to be the dumbest statement ever made on the climate con, and that's no easy task, as you know. But many countries are regularly over 40 degrees, and people don't boil to death in their own sweat, do they? They got no air conditioning or anything like that, so it's safe to say it's all bollocks. In fact, though, the host should have asked him how many Arabs in mud huts boil to death in 46-degree temperatures, because I bet it's bloody zero. Or even how many African tribes have boiled to death down there, you know, in the bloody desert, because I bet it's also none. You really have to question how dumb you need to be to actually hear that, save it in your mind, and then repeat it without noticing how demented it's gonna sound.
You're an imbecile.
Oh no, sorry, he said himself, it's ridiculous, but he had been told to say it, and so out it came like projectile vomit. Now, I really hope he's being paid well for sitting on there and making himself look a tit, because that clip's gonna go round the internet forever, and so it bloody should. If you're stupid enough to make these claims to push the great climate con, then you deserve to be remembered for the globalist sock puppet that you are. Oh, and speaking of sock puppets, we also had Gary Lineker defending these ponces in what I'm sure shocks none of ya. I guess he's finished claiming he was racially abused as a child and so needs to find a new grift now BLM's fell from favour.
Without being good at sport, life would have been very different for me, because I was, I was kind of not. I think I would have been bullied at school. They were kind of marginally that way anyway, because I was like, this tiny geeky kid with darkish skin, and it was pretty much racist abuse. Although I'm not, I'm as English as they come.
Yeah,
all the time. Even in professional football, I had that a couple of times. I wouldn't ever name any names.
Just let's hope no one tells him Just Stop Oil's goals align perfectly with the climate goals of billionaires and the Tories he claims to aid. I'm sure he won't like that very much.
Pandemic.
We're off!